What's up, everyone? We got four main topics for today's episode. I'm talking the debut of Penta, the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Championship. Kenny Omega's back, baby. And another big return on AEW, my boy, Samoa Joe. Stay tuned, it's all coming up on the Wrasslin Corner.
That's $1 million picture.
We are covering WWE and AEW.
Well, I'm not going to say she's there yet.
I would still like to see Jay White with the ball.
We will beat him with this bat right here.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning into the Wrasslin Corner. We drop these new episodes every Friday morning, so jump on over to the Real Fresh channel every morning and see what new content is there. New content all the time on the Real Fresh channel. Like I kind of said, like I kind of teased, we are going to do two topics from Raw, two topics from Dynamite that caught my attention. The first one, I'm going to take a lot of heat for this. It is the debut of Penta on Monday Night Raw. All right. I put my opinion online and I was met with a lot of heat. To start off, I am a huge Penta fan. I feel weird even calling him Penta. It's Pentagon Juniors, but I'm a huge Penta fan. Just start there. So he had his debut, and it was supposed to be a surprise, even though it was not a surprise. Horrible from WWE to hold that in. But he had his debut against Chad Gable. I am pumped to see Penta in WWE. He's going to have great matches. I'm not worried. But here is my statement. For all the hype, for all the talent in the ring, Chad Gable and Pentagon are two of my favorites of all time. This match was nothing. It was boring. I met a lot of heat saying that online. If you're excited to see Penta, that's great. And if you've never seen Pentagon in your life, maybe that was okay. And it was an average Raw match. There was no botches. It was fine. It was a very debut match, very safe. Not many top rope maneuvers. It looked like WWE took half his moveset away and he didn't know what to do out there. He didn't look like he was comfortable to be himself. I'm just making assumptions, but it just didn't look like the moveset I'm used to seeing from Pentagon. You could see him looking for his spots. He was doing bottom rope springboards. Um, I think he did one high flying dive. It was good though. I was wondering what they were going to do for his package pile driver finisher. He's still doing that arm breaker, which looks great. The sound is great, but for his finisher, which was the package pile driver, they've kind of let it be a scoop handle pile driver. It's a driver anyway. It's a scoop handle driver. They're calling it the Penta driver. Kevin Owens is kind of sneaking in that package pile driver once in a while. It's still a driver. It still looks good. So I'm happy enough with the Penta driver. But they need to let him off the hook. I know it's his first match, but that's all I have to talk about. That's what I think. I think and I hope he's just going to warm up, have some great matches because I've seen Chad Gable have way better matches against people that he's never been in the ring with. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that it was just a one off. It was an average match. I took a lot of heat online to my, group chats, friends, posts. So comment here. What did you think of the debut of Penta? Not how I mean, tell me if you're excited. I love seeing Penta on more accessible television. But tell me what you thought of that match just on its own. You could not tell me that was anything more than an average match. But excited Pentagon, Penta Driver, Zero Fear, all about it. Let's go. All right, next we're going to talk the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Championship. They had that tournament to decide the finalists. It was Lyra Valkyria and Dakota Kai, easy for me to say. And the women with the U.S. title could take a look at this. I know the Intercontinental Championship is much more of a workhorse type of title, but they made it great. This match was, and you guys know, I'm hurt. This was a great pay-per-view quality championship match. Started strong. And you know what? I've always given Lyra credit as being a good wrestler. I often crap on Dakota Kai for being one of the softest ladies out there. Both of them really wanted to put on a good show for this championship match, and that it was great to see. Valkyria, man, for WWE and all their easy to say catchy names. I don't know. Anyway, that's a me problem, not a you or her problem. Valkyria hit the finisher, Nightwing, to become the first ever Intercontinental Champion, Women's Intercontinental Championship. I just wanted to give that a shout out as a history making match, and also they put on a championship caliber match. Whereas maybe Pentagon and Chad Gable didn't on SmackDown, the U.S. title finals really didn't. So just a props there. Let's get over to my two AEW topics. The first one, Kenny Omega's back, guys. He was doing some wrestling in New Japan, but it's his first AEW appearance. Since going off with that bad injury last year, they would put him up against Brian Cage here. So, uh, last week on Dynamite, Omega came back for a little promo saying he's not the wrestler he once was, but he's happy to be back. I wrote in an article here, Omega at whatever he's at, 50%, is still better than most. He was still flying around the Kenny Omega I remember. Maybe a little slow. I don't know. No, it was fine. Great pace, smooth reversals. Of course, he's gonna win on his match back, Kenny Omega. And I was worried he was just gonna be kind of a striker, trying to not worry, but I thought when he said that last week, he meant he was gonna lay off the high flying and just do more strikes and stuff. He was still sprinting around there. He did a couple high spots, not just one high spot, a few high spots. Pace was there. The bumps were there. I don't know what he really meant by that. Great match. Good to see Kenny Omega back. There was another big return. This is one of my favorites of all. Actually, tied with Kevin Owens for my personal favorite of all time. Big return from Samoa Joe. That's my 1A, 1B favorite of all time. Uh, Irrelevant. Christian Cage and Hook were having the match. Of course, Christian Cage couldn't seem to get. He had the upper hand, but he couldn't get Hook with the pin. So then Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, Kip Sabian, they all kind of ruined the match. Set up Hook for the concerto. That's when your boy Samoa Joe, I guess he's doing the babyface thing with Hook again. I don't know if they're going to be a tag team. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I just like seeing Samoa Joe in action. I think he was off doing like movies or video games or something, and I know he's getting up there. So it's just good to see Samoa Joe back. You know, when Samoa Joe comes back, he's not one of these guys that is going to half-ass it just to show up. He's going to put on the matches that you like seeing from Samoa Joe. Never misses on the mic, never misses in the ring. Uh, Damn, it's good to see Joe, back in action. That was really my four topics that I really wanted to hit on this week, guys. It's a little short episode for y'all. We got when's Royal Rumble coming up? Probably 2 or 3 weeks from now. But that's all we got for this week, guys. Like I said, let me know what your takes are on my four topics of the week. If you want anything talked about next week that I didn't touch on, please comment as well. Catch the Wrasslin Corner every Friday morning. New episodes dropping every Friday morning on the Real Fresh channel. And also go check out the other shows on the Real Fresh channel, guys. I have another show myself for pro sports. It's highly NFL focused right now, but we go all year round. Fresh Take Sports Podcast, me and Big Luke every Tuesday. Myself and the wife, the real Meredith. We are back in action. You may have known the show previously as Talkin' Tokes. We've rebranded just basically for YouTube's sake, but we are now the Real Talk Clip Show. Basically, it's still the same show. We're just called the Real Talk Clip Show. Myself, How Fresh, and the real Meredith. Largely a clip reaction, have a good time, laughs. We also do some reviews on like Netflix, on Munchies, 420. And again, lots of hilarious clips, lots of wild reactions. And check those out every Monday morning. Those drop every Monday morning. What else do we got? Thursdays, my boy Bodkins and his crew, Mr. Bobby Blunts and your boy K Witt, they are our Real Fresh channel MMA coverage, head kicks and haymakers. That's head kicks and haymakers. I drop that on every Thursday night, and those are the three. Follow them on X and check out their show. But if you're only really a big wrestling fan, appreciate it. Again, Fridays, every morning. And that's it. The Wrasslin Corner. Peace.
Dubby. 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 Free from sugar, fillers, jitters, and all that BS.
Bite-sized pizzas on wholesome little bagels.
Dubby. 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 Free from sugar, fillers, Dubby.
That's $1 million picture to me.
We are covering WWE and AEW.
Well, I'm not gonna say she's there yet.
I feel like Steve Jay White was cool.
I'm going to beat him with this bat right here.